You've probably seen pictures of it. Maybe you've even seen it yourself. That moment right before a huge storm rolls in, when the sky just changes. It stops looking like our sky and turns into this, I don't know, this eerie, almost alien green. It is an absolutely wild thing to see, and it always leaves you wondering one thing, right? Why does the sky, our normal, everyday blue or gray sky, all of a sudden decide to turn this strange, almost sickly green? Well, let's get right into it, because the answer is this really cool mix of basic physics, perfect timing, and just raw atmospheric power. And I'm not just talking about some weird theoretical thing. This is real. Back in July of 2022, people in South Dakota saw exactly this. And as you can see from this quote, it's not something you forget. One person said it looked like it was straight out of a sci-fi or a horror movie. And honestly, they're not wrong. It's a genuinely unsettling sight, and it almost always means something big is on the way. And this is the engine behind that green sky. We're looking at a massive supercell thunderstorm. Now, these are not your average summer rain showers, okay? These things are powerful, rotating beasts, and their very specific structure is what creates the perfect conditions for this incredible color shift. Okay, so to crack this mystery of the green sky, we actually have to take a step back and ask a more basic question. Why is the sky even blue in the first place? The first clue to solving this whole thing starts with the source of all our light, the sun. You see, sunlight looks white to us, but it's actually made up of all the colors of the rainbow. And here's the thing, not all those colors travel through the air in the same way. Blue light has a really short wavelength, which means it gets bounced around and scattered by all the tiny molecules in the atmosphere. On a normal, clear day, all that scattered blue light is what you're seeing. That's why the sky is blue. So, if the blue light is bouncing all over the place, what about the other colors? Well, colors with longer wavelengths, like red and orange, they pretty much punch straight through the atmosphere more directly. That's exactly why sunsets and sunrises look red. The sun is low in the sky, its light is traveling through more atmosphere, and most of that blue light gets scattered away before it even reaches your eyes, leaving those beautiful reds and oranges behind. Now remember that reddish light? It's going to be a key part of our puzzle. So, we've got our reddish sunlight. That's one ingredient. But that's only half the equation, right? The second and way more dramatic piece of the puzzle comes from the storm itself. And believe me, not just any old storm can pull this off. For the sky to turn green, you need a storm cloud that is just unbelievably tall and absolutely jam-packed with moisture. We are talking about a storm holding colossal amounts of rain and, this is critical, hail. This super dense core of water and ice acts like a giant natural filter in the sky. And just to give you an idea of the kind of power we're dealing with here, that South Dakota event back in 2022, it was caused by something called a derecho, a massive, long-lasting windstorm. And the winds in that thing were hitting 100 miles per hour. That's the kind of insane energy it takes to hold that much water and hail up in the atmosphere. Okay, so let's put the whole recipe together. First, you need the sun to be low in the sky, either late in the afternoon or early in the evening. That's what gives you that reddish-yellow light. Second, you need that absolute monster of a thunderstorm. And third, that storm's core has to be so full of water droplets and hail that it acts as a perfect blue light scattering machine. And this, my friends, is the aha moment. You've got that reddish light from the setting sun shining behind the storm. At the same time, the massive amount of water inside the storm cloud is scattering blue light out of the storm towards you. So what happens when our eyes see that scattered blue light against a backdrop of reddish yellow light? We perceive it as green. It is literally a color mixing experiment happening miles up in the sky. Now that we've got the science down, we have to talk about something really important. There's this old piece of folklore, this myth about green skies that we absolutely need to clear up, because it can be dangerously misleading. I'm sure you've heard this one before, right? If the sky turns green, a tornado is on its way. It's a pretty compelling and, frankly, terrifying idea that's been passed down for a long, long time. But the question is it actually true? Nope. It is flat out false. A green sky does not automatically mean a tornado is coming. They are often associated, for a good reason we'll get into, but the green color itself is not a direct signal of a tornado forming. So, what does a green sky really tell us then? Well, it signals that the storm is incredibly powerful, with an updraft strong enough to hold up huge amounts of rain and, very likely, large hail. Now, here's the connection. The exact same conditions that create giant hail are also the conditions that can produce a tornado. So there is a very strong correlation. It's a sign of the potential for a tornado, but it is not a guarantee. And look, this isn't just a bit of fun weather trivia. Understanding what that green light actually means is absolutely crucial for staying safe. And awareness really is key. A survey from the National Weather Service found that while most people, about 65%, recognize a green sky as a warning sign, a huge chunk, 35%, don't really understand what it means. And that is a dangerous knowledge gap when a storm this severe is rolling in. So let's boil it all down to the one thing you need to remember. A green sky is a visual signature. It's nature's way of screaming at you that the storm you're seeing is not normal. It is the exact type of severe storm, the kind of supercell that has the raw power to produce massive hail and, yes, has the potential to spawn a tornado. The bottom line here is incredibly simple. Don't stand around wondering if it's definitely going to be a tornado. Don't try to get a cool video for social media. If you see the sky turning that creepy shade of green, that's your signal. It means the storm is dangerous. Get to a safe place. Immediately. You know, severe weather has its own language, and a green sky is one of its loudest, most urgent warnings. It's telling you something incredibly important about what's coming. The only question left is, are you listening?